Okay, Andre,
Yeah.
thanks
Hey,
for joining me my YouTube. It's our first time to having conversation like this on YouTube, right?
Yeah,
How
that's true.
are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling excited. Yeah.
On the other hand, I'm a little nervous.
Really? Why?
Yeah, because in front of the camera, I cannot talk like naturally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have a kind of anxiety and feeling nervousness.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But I'm looking forward to sharing some behind-the-scenes stories today. And thanks for being here.
Thank you for inviting me, man. I'm really excited.
Do you remember how we first met?
Yeah, I do. I was doing Call magazine advertising for my company, and the person who was handling my account quit suddenly, and you took over. You were the new sales rep. At that time, the advertising was not working that well for me, and I was thinking about quitting it. And I remember that I told you, and even though you're a salesperson, you saw that the results were not being very good. And you encouraged me to quit. You're like, if it's not working so well for you, you should just quit it.
Right.
So I really appreciate that.
No. It was just I wanted to, take care of your account, honest, opinions.
Yeah.
That's how we met.
Yes, that's how we met.
Yes. Thinking back, what do you think was the moment or reason that led the creation of Aloha English? Do you remember the story?
I've always loved talking about business, and we're always discussing. You were planning about moving back to Japan.
Exactly.
Do you remember we having some conversations about Aloha English and you teaching English in Japan?
Right. We used to talk about a lot, about our business because at that time you were a business owner, and I always wanted to establish my business company, but I didn't have any idea what kind of business I should start with. But through some conversation with you, we met some friends from our company, co-workers. Their English was okay. At that time, my English wasn't so good, but still I could communicate with him, and I took care of some clients in English. And then he told me some advice that why don't you start English school in Japan?
Yeah.
Maybe you don't remember, but this kept in my mind, and I never forget about it. And when I came back to Japan, I started my Aloha English.
Yeah,
That's the story. Did I tell you the story before?
I think you have mentioned it before. Yeah. I'm glad that I could be a positive force for Aloha English to start. I'm glad you're here. I'm really glad you're here.
Without you, I didn't have any idea to establish Aloha English. So I'm really glad that you gave me some advices, and we had so much conversation about the business and English stuff. I really appreciate it.
No, man, my pleasure.
So, from your perspective, what kind of barriers do you think Japanese people face when speaking English?
Probably vocabulary is going to be a
Right.
challenge. You're going to have to learn a brand new vocabulary. They don't have similar roots, so there's a lot of learning there. And I think another thing that I see happening quite often is people getting shy or embarrassed of talking, of making mistakes, or expecting to talk 100%. And it's really not necessary, and this just creates an unnecessary barrier for learning. The important thing is speaking and not being afraid of making mistakes.
What you're talking about right now encourages us to speak English more because, I think it's our culture barriers. In Japan, we have to respect seniorities, elder people, and also when I communicate with someone, we kind of, don't want to get rude. So we always care about, when I speak English, maybe if I say something to you, something wrong, probably you will get angry. You will get something like a negative idea from me. We don't like that. So that's why we are afraid of making a mistake. I used to feel that way too. In my experience, the first day I arrived at the United States, I was super hungry, but I didn't know how to shop in the supermarket. I was really afraid of, communicate with the staff in supermarket. So I went to McDonald's. It's easy, right?
Yeah.
And I said, cheeseburger, please. She didn't understand.
Really?
Yeah, I said cheeseburger, right? And then she asked me a bunch of questions. And just one word I couldn't catch. Okay. And then the conversation, going flow. But I was stuck in the same place. I was thinking, what is this word? What is this word? And then ended up, I said every hard questions. I said yes. I paid $50.
$50?
Yeah, this was my unforgettable memory. I had a bunch of food, maybe like 3 Coca-Cola. like a 10 cheeseburgers like
Wow.
this. Yeah.
Wow.
This was my first experience.
Okay, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, but in the end, after 3 months, I realized even though I made mistakes, people understand. People don't misunderstand me.
No,
That's
yeah.
the one thing, that
Yeah.
encourages me to speak more English in my free way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think English is a very practical language. I really don't think when there's a foreigner speaking, people don't really get upset. They don't expect them to be able to carry the nuances and details of conversation. So we're just trying to communicate, right? So I don't personally know anybody who would be upset if somebody was not talking in a certain way because they understand that the person doesn't, fully talk English. They're still learning. So I don't think there's any reason to be shy about it.
Actually, this is an interesting thought because I have never seen people complaining, oh, he's from Japan and his English is really bad. But I have never seen people, upset with broken English.
Yeah, me
they
neither,
try
me
to
neither.
understand, what you are trying to say, even though they made some rude word. Probably they don't really care, right?
They don't really care because they probably think like the person don't know the English, so why should they be so strict about? So it's there's really no reason to be embarrassed about it. I never saw anybody.
I think this
getting
is a
angry.
really good thought. Yeah, I have never thought about it. Okay. And I'd like to hear about your experience because you're from Brazil to Hawaii, and which must have been really tough at the first. And then now you have a company.
Yeah.
Could you please tell me about the story, your business? How did you learn English?
Well, when I decided to stay in Hawaii, that was not my initial plan, but things in life, it just happens, I fell in love with the place. I was like, okay, I'm gonna stay here. And I had a career back in Brazil.
What did you do, by the way, when you were in Brazil?
I used to be an investment banker in Brazil. And I was going to England to do my master's degree. I had been accepted on LLC. And I was only going to spend 6 months in Hawaii doing, back in the day, they had intensive IELTS. IELTS is a standardized English test, just so you can start the university, usually in Europe or in England. And they require me to get a really high grade before starting. So I was going to do 6 months intensive English training, take the test, and then the goal was to go there. But then
in this 6 months,
in the 6 months, a lot of things happened. Hawaii just said like, no, stay.
Don't go, stay in Hawaii. Yeah.
Yeah, you belong to the island now.
Right.
So my life changed, and my main goal was always to have my own business. That's always been my goal. I went to school for business, even though I was a banker, but I always had a passion for business, for entrepreneurship. So when I decided to stay in Hawaii, my English was improving very fast, but it was a challenge because I wanted to open a business there, right? So I had like a timeline. My English had to be very good, very fast, so I could operate my business properly and navigate everything, because one thing is opening a business in your country, your own language. When another language is it's a lot of work. So I dedicated a lot. It was just practice, talking all the time. I went to school. I did I studied grammar, writing, everything, and I focused on that. And I opened my first business. I used the money I was gonna use on England for my master's degree. I used to open my first business, which was the Tropical Tribe, the food truck. And eventually we moved out of the food truck to a store location.
Right.
Yes, and then we opened more stores. And then we opened a distribution company. And then we opened a acai factory in Brazil.
And then I left Hawaii.
And then you left Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And then after that, we kept on expanding the import company, the wholesale. And just about 2 years ago, we opened a restaurant. A restaurant, it's a new concept for Hawaii as well.
What's the name of the restaurant?
São Paulo Pizzeria.
So now São Paulo Pizzeria picture is here. So this is the São Paulo Pizzeria.
There we go. So São Paulo Pizzeria is a new concept. I think Americans, they are getting more and more demanding with the quality of their food. They've been traveling a lot. They're getting very international. And the food overall in the United States, it's becoming less of industrialized, and more people are demanding, no, I want more fresh, more high quality. So our concept was, Americans are very used to the pizza fast food. we wanted to do, okay, let's do the best quality pizza. Let's import ingredients from Italy, from Brazil. Let's import a chef. So our chef is an international chef. We actually won 6th place in the nationals in the United States last year. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and we have live music, violin, saxophone. So we make an environment where pizza can be appreciated at its maximum, at its highest quality, you know. We have 37 different flavors, some very exotic flavors, some very exotic combinations that people never tried before. So it's been exciting. Yeah.
3 or 4 months ago, right? I visited Hawaii again to see him, and he took me his restaurant, São Paulo. Man, it was really, really delicious food, and especially cheese with honey.
Yes.
This was unforgettable menu. Man,
It's so
it
good,
was
right?
so good,
Yeah,
very nice.
yeah.
And you have many good employees now. How
Yeah.
many employees do you have? You said 50?
I think right now we have about 65.
Wow, wow. Not only Brazilians, also
Yeah,
local Americans too, right?
Americans, yeah. I would say like maybe we have about 15%, 20% Brazilians, and the rest are people from all over the United States.
Man, this is really like I respect you a lot. Always, you know, I try my best to you know, progress my business, progress my life, progress my skills. But you are always 1 step or 2 steps ahead.
Thank you, Kensho. Appreciate it. I'm
And,
doing my best.
And you, at the beginning, your English was not good, you said. But now you are the top of the company. You hire American people work for you.
Yeah.
It's a good progress. You did a lot of good job, I think.
And I think everybody can get there. You know, it's just a matter of practicing. It's just a matter of wanting. If you wanna learn a new language, if you wanna learn a new skill, you will do it. You know, it's just dedication. And if people dedicate, I'm pretty sure they're gonna be speaking fluently. They're gonna be speaking extremely well. You know.
So YouTube, keep pushing. That's the most important advice from him.
Yes.
Just before you saw our English lesson, right?
Yes.
The students' performance. How do you feel about their progress and the English skills?
Yeah, I was watching the performance and I think they were doing really well. Especially, it's amazing to see how well people are doing considering like Japanese is so different from English.
Right.
So it's such a big challenge. And they were understanding the conversation, what the teacher was talking with them. They were communicating their message. And I think especially one of the girls there, I was really impressed. She was progressing super fast.
8 months.
8 months,
Right.
and she was speaking so well. She could travel anywhere in the United States with that level of English. United States, Australia, whatever, she could travel with no problem. So I was amazed, and I know that it's only gonna get better from there. It gets easier. The more you know, the easier it gets.
So even the outside, you can see the Aloha English growth,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
You are the
definitely.
seed, by the way. And I pour water to the ground. And now,
Congratulations. Aloha English has been growing a lot, and you guys have been doing an amazing job with the students. It's so good to see you're realizing your dream and so many great things happening.
and the same to you. Maybe, you know, I'm repeating the same thing, but without your advice, I couldn't get this idea to establish my company. And our friendship, it has been 12 years right now, right?
Yes.
And your message about the language, your message about business, your passion about the business has never changed. That kind of, you know, encouraged me a lot. And I wanna, you know, do the same to follow your back.
Thank you, Kensho.
You
Appreciate
always,
it.
you know, 1 or 2 steps ahead. You are my teacher for my life. Really thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So finally, could you give a message to those who want to speak English but feel a little bit nervous?
I think in life, one of the most important traits that anybody should cultivate is courage. You know, don't be afraid of doing new things, especially when doing new things. You're gonna make mistakes. It's normal. Don't be afraid of your mistakes. The mistakes, they are what fuel learning. You know, if you don't make mistakes, you're not learning. Just keep pushing, put yourself out there, and you're gonna get better. In no time, you're gonna get better. Time flies, you know, time flies. When you least expect, 6 months has passed, 1 year has passed, right? Look at us now.
12 years.
12 years, yeah. And time just flew by, right? Imagine how much like you can learn when you dedicate yourself. You know, even if it's like sometimes you're like, oh, I have to dedicate myself 1 year, but then 1 year just fly like that, and in 1 year you can completely change. Like you can completely learn a new skill and improve yourself. So just keep pushing, be brave, and talk your heart out.
Good message. And thank you so much for joining me for the YouTube.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Kensho. Appreciate it.
Thank you, YouTube. Bye bye.
Thank you too. Bye bye.